Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too.
Well, I just wanted to just say how sorry I am about the sister who lost her stepdaughter. And I just appreciate the wisdom that she brought. You know, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, but that's the fourth intelligence. There's a divine intelligence that gave birth to creation. And then there's this biological intelligence that we call nature or the earth or Gaia. And it gave birth to us, humans. And now we've given birth to this fourth intelligence. And this century is going to be determined by how those four intelligences interact. What do we create together? And there's a danger, as the sister was pointing out, that we could end up in a world where there's an awful lot of data and very little wisdom. An awful lot of data, but very little wisdom. And my brother James Slavet and I are here to talk about, is there a way we can use artificial intelligence, not just to increase people's IQ, but also their EQ? So much of AI, so much of technology is being used to distract people, to divide people, to extract from people, but it's not helping us find each other and love each other and help each other and know each other and heal each other. And so that is the work, I think, as if we welcome in this fourth intelligence. And I'm very proud to be a part of a team called Rapport. That's what we're trying to do. One of our first investors and who made a big bet on us is right here, James Slavet. By the way, give James Slavet a round of applause. He got the camera on me. That was weird. He here. Anyway, you might just come
scooch over.
Yeah, scooch over, man. That's like weird. This. That makes me feel self-conscious.
We're closer.
Also,
all right, we're good.
You got a long torso.
Right? That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, brother, good to see you.
So the focus of our conversation, as Van touched on, is how AI can help make the workplace more human. I think there's a lot that people have speculated on about how AI might make work less human, how it might make work a place where there are fewer humans.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about something different, like a different angle on this, is what's the possibility for AI to actually help make work more human. So maybe just kick it off. Man, you can talk just about what you're up to.
Yeah.
I think some folks probably know you more through the lens of CNN, government, politics, society, that stuff. But like zoom out and like let's talk about sort of the focus of your work more broadly.
Well, look, I mean, I appreciate the few of you who still had TVs. People always come to me, I know you, Vance Johnston. I watch your show every night. I never miss it. It's my favorite show on CNN. Now here's the reality. My name is not Vance Johnston. I haven't had a show for 4 years, but I am on CNN. And those of you who see me usually see me on your thing. Not on TV anymore. Thanks. But I don't spend most of my time there. Some of you guys know me from my days in the Bay Area. When you see me sitting next to Anderson Cooper, and yes, he is that cute. That is not AI. He is that cute. I'm there for like 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I'm back trying to figure out how to help people. I come out of the grassroots. Spent a lot of time here in the Bay Area, helped to found something called the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights in Oakland, still around 25 years later. Helped to start something called colorofchange.org, still around 20 years later. And I've been trying to build bridges. In my faith tradition, we believe we'll be judged by how we treat the least of these. Jesus said, the least of these, the addicted, the convicted, the afflicted, the evicted, the poorly depicted, the people who don't have very much. Not the celebrities, as much as we love our celebrity friends, not the billionaires, as much as we love them, but the least of these. And it turns out, if you don't have much, you need more friends and fewer enemies. And for too long, I think progressive politics has gotten very good at making enemies. Canceling people, calling people out, not calling them in, not calling them up, but calling them out. And when you wind up with a politics that mass produces enemies, that might be good for your Facebook or for your Instagram or for your Twitter feed. It's not good for people who don't have much. People who don't have much need a politics that's about creating more friends. And frankly, the more different the friends, the better. So if you can bring in a conservative, if you can bring in a liberal, if you can bring in a black person, a white person, a male, the more kinds of friends you can bring in together, then the more good you can do for people who don't have much. So that's my politics. And I've been very disappointed with my life. I've spent 35 years since I got out of law school trying hard to make a difference. I can't really point to one neighborhood I worked in that's better and still black or brown. If it's better, it's no longer black or brown. If it's still black or brown, it's worse. I can't point to a single thing I've done in politics that hasn't been washed out to sea in the past few months. And I've been disappointed. And I wanted to figure out, is there something else I could do? Could I take what I've learned? Could I take who I care about? Could I take what I know about people and bring people together? And could I somehow scale it using technology? Mm-hmm. And so taking that approach is how we started looking at the workplace with all the conflict there and all the disappointment there. And we wanted to come up with a solution that would deal with the existing workplace that might make it work a little bit better. And that's how we came up with Rapport.
So let's talk a little, let's kind of shift and talk more about AI,
Yeah.
And also the potential impact of AI on the workplace.
Yeah.
So my career and background is as an entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur, and an investor, and primarily through a firm called Greylock. And what I am seeing with the companies that I work with, I'm seeing a few different patterns of how companies are adopting AI. One pattern, which has been going on for a while, is just the area of data and analytics and making sense of data both internally for employees and externally for customers. So that's one clear pattern. The second pattern, which I think is people are following, is just driving operational efficiency through automating tasks that are routine tasks that are human-intensive tasks. So there's a lot of folks doing this as their whole business, or folks who operate, companies and organizations looking for ways to make that kind of change. But the third area, which I think is most relevant to the work that you're doing, is how AI can actually be a coach for us, how AI can be a coach for us in our life or in our work. And I'd make a distinction here between AI as a friend and AI as a coach.
What's the difference?
So this was actually a public debate that happened recently. Mark Zuckerberg actually was quoted as saying that AI could be part of the solve for loneliness, that AI can be our friend. And Reid Hoffman and some others kind of challenged that and actually said there's an important distinction that AI can be like a tutor or a tool or a coach, but that's different than being a friend, because AI doesn't have the emotional depth of a true friendship, right? So what I'm seeing across a bunch of different companies, we have companies that are working in, like we've got a company called Cresta, which is working with how do you study what the best customer service people are doing and make that available to coach other customer service people up. We have a company that's in the mental health space that's helping therapists to learn from their conversations and be more effective. GoFundMe, a company I work with, is trying to help people to fundraise more effectively to coach them through AI. But let's talk about Rapport and what you're doing in the workplace.
Yeah, well, most people's experience of technology at work is that it basically sucks. It's like a technical term. Most people, this is their experience. You're working with people you've literally never seen before in life. You're on the Slack channel or Teams with them. They're annoying the hell out of you. every time. Then you get on a Zoom call with the person. You've never seen this person in your life. You don't know if they're 5'2" or 5'6" or 6'12" or however tall you are. Like, you have no idea if this person is like little or big. You're talking to this person, you don't know if they have on pants. And you are somehow supposed to solve all these problems and deal with all this stuff. Sometimes you have to fire them, you gotta evaluate them, and then, because your employer cares so much about you, they let you once a year take a survey. Into which you put, "This all sucks and is incredibly terrible." Send. And nothing happens, right? This is all technology. It just sucks. It's not working. And so we saw that as an opportunity because, look, 5 years ago, we would have been here heartbroken about what? George Floyd, right? We wouldn't have been here at all. We'd been in a pandemic. But we'd have been on Zoom, and we'd have been upset about George Floyd. And there was a moment where it looked like we were going to have some kind of progress, some kind of advance, but it didn't work. So you have two things that you're sitting with at work. This failed effort, call it DEI, that's now been gunned down, call it woke, call it whatever you want to. It didn't give us what we wanted in terms of helping us to get close to each other and see each other and hold each other. It didn't work. And it's sitting on top of this technology that is just annoying the hell out of us every day. So we said, what if we could fix that? So we went to Columbia University at the Difficult Conversations Lab, and we talked to a guy named Peter there. And we said, this is a universal problem, and we think if we solve that, we think if we can make workplaces better, we can make the world better. Because the workplace is the one place where you still have to deal with people who don't agree with you, who don't vote like you, who don't pray like you, who don't do the same yoga you do. You got to deal with these people. Can we make workplaces better? So we came up with a little hack. It's a little widget. It's deceptively simple. It's a trick, okay? It's a trick. It's a 15-second check-in every day that's emoji-based. Just emoji-based. It's in the flow of work, so it pops up, and it just basically asks you a couple questions that you can respond to with emojis in 15 seconds. What's your work level? One person's desk is overflowing, one person a little bit less, one person's happy. What's your energy level? One person's excited, one person's like miserable, somebody's in the middle. And you just click the emojis and go on about your business. In a week, we have a massive amount of data about what's happening in your company. It's the difference between going to the doctor once a year for your annual checkup, the survey, and having a Fitbit or a smartwatch or an Oura Ring. You know how much better, how much more information you have where you can tell how much you slept and how many steps you got every single day so you can optimize? You don't have that for your firm. He was just talking about how nutty it is. What you said to me strikes me as somewhat nutty. We're spending all of this energy trying to use technology to figure out what people we don't know think. CRMs and dating apps. Think about a dating app. Massive intelligence to help you meet someone who you are never going to want to talk to again in life. So CRMs, massive intelligence to figure out people you don't know. Dating apps, massive intelligence to figure out people you don't know. Zero intelligence to figure out the people you work with every day. So we said, we're just going to take all that and pull it in. And we're going to create this little tiny trick. And it's been stunning. Because now, in the before and after, people realize you are living in a barbaric world. This will be seen in 5 years, what I described to you will be seen as barbaric. To throw people into Slacks and Teams and Zooms and just hope they work it out and fire them if they don't. That's barbaric. We're now able to give people with rapport, like literally the Fitbit for their firm. And we hope this is the first of many AI companies that is using AI for good, using AI to help people find each other and love each other. And the trick is, instead of asking people, which was a big mistake we made in DEI 1.0, we were asking you to have empathy for somebody who you don't know, who's different from you. You're a 56-year-old white dude, you gotta have empathy for a black lesbian who's 22. If you don't do it, you suck. The first thing is, how are you doing? How do you feel? What's your energy level? What's going on with you? And when people can just do that, it opens up a different part of their brain to then hear from the other person. How are you doing? And so I'm so excited about what we're doing. We're gonna do something that might make you mad because you're my investor, but I'm
gonna find out about it right now.
Exactly. We're all relatives.
Yes.
We're all relatives. But
boy.
if you want, because you're here, because you're all weird people like us, if you want to try this out, we're going to give it to you for free for 3 months. It's you can clap for that. It's free. He's mad. You're glad. It's called rapport.co. Rapport is like a French word. It's not spelled how it sounds. RAPPORT.co, rapport.co. And if you want more information about it, my two buddies, Greg and Tajio, stand up. They got on shirts. Stand up, Greg. Give them a round of applause, by the way. They made all this stuff. I'm just bragging on it. They'll be around to help you. So rapport.co, you can go on there, get a free demo. Just put in Summit on the code, and that gets you the free stuff.
For the record, I'm not mad about that.
Okay, good.
I thought it was going to be something else. Well, so managing is challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a reason that most people who manage, don't get amazing, feedback about their management. It's a challenging thing. When you ask most people at work, they will say, "My manager doesn't actually understand what I do."
Yeah.
When you ask most people at work, they'll say the number one person in my life who has an impact on my mental health, my well-being, is my manager, like tied with my spouse, right? So this is a challenging area.
Yeah.
So the question is more like, what are the insights and what are the learnings like around rapport and how managers use it with their teams?
Well, most managers are people like us. Nobody taught us to be managers. We were doing a good job doing one thing, and then we got promoted, which is a horrible experience because now suddenly the thing you were doing good at, you're not doing. You got to manage somebody else to try to do it, and they're not as good, and you never met them before, and it sucks. So most managers, right, are just suffering every day and don't know how to do it. And here's the worst thing. If they get more information about how miserable everybody is, they don't know what to do anyway. So they're just stuck. So the AI that we have is actually smart enough to help the managers. So you get the information, you get a display of your teams, all that's going on. You can see every Wednesday everybody's sad. You can see all the things that are happening. But then the AI says, you might want to send an email to Sally. And here's some suggested language. And here's why. It will demonstrate empathy. There's a whole bunch of things that will. So not only are you giving the manager a nudge, you're giving the manager help and giving the manager an explanation. So you're upgrading the manager. See, the problem that you have in this AI age is three things, not one thing. There is a mindset problem. Most people don't understand exponential technology. There's a skill set problem. Most people don't know how to use AI right. There's also a tool set problem. The tools aren't designed to help people love each other. The tools aren't designed to help people hold each other and see each other. That's not been an important part of this first wave. And so managers who are not doing a good job are not doing a good job because they are bad people. They don't have the right tools. And we're trying to fix that.
We're coming up on time. We got to come back and do the hour version next
good.
time.
I don't mind.
But maybe to finish, go maybe bigger picture again. I'd be curious, just interested in your perspective on in the times that we live in, what gives you cause for optimism?
Very little. No. No. I'm just joking. No, I'm actually optimistic. You know, no pressure, no diamonds. No pressure, no diamonds. Breakdowns lead to breakthroughs if you use them right. You look at everything in your life that was terrible. Look at that breakup. Look at that job you lost. Look at that bad diagnosis that you got. And then look what you did afterwards. That wasn't an obstacle. It was a springboard to a better version of yourself. It sucked, it was difficult. But breakdowns lead to breakthroughs if you use them right. We're going through a big breakdown. But I'll just tell you this. Those of you who are founders of organizations, founders of funds, founders of foundations, I think you got the wrong job description in the back of your mind. You're not co-founding an organization. You're not co-founding a foundation. You're not co-founding a fund. We're co-founding a new human civilization. That's what we're doing. I have 2 little children. I have 4 kids, but I have two very small ones. One's 1 year old, one's 3 years old. In 10 years, my daughter's first crush is probably not going to be a rapper or a pop star. It may well be an AI. It may well be an AI. In 10 years, my little guy, he may think of an AI as his best buddy. In 20 years, that's a different human civilization than one I grew up in. It's a different human civilization. In 20 years, 30 years, when they want to have kids, my daughter might open up a laptop or a holographic interface and use biotech tools to design my grandchildren. That's a different human civilization, okay? And heaven forbid, in 100 years, when they're buried, my children, your children, might be buried on the moon or on Mars. Because by then we'll be a fully spacefaring civilization. That is a different human civilization. So you're not co-founding a company, you're not co-founding a fund, you're not co-founding a not-for-profit. We are the co-founders of a new human civilization. The question is, will it be human? And will it be civilized? Will it be human and will it be civilized? And that is up to us. Thank you very much.